This is a review of Learning Target 1.1, I Can Evaluate Algebraic Expressions. In order to evaluate algebraic expressions, we must substitute in our given values. So here we have our given values, and we're given an algebraic expression right here, 2x minus n. So what I'm going to do, wherever I see a letter, I'm going to substitute it in with the corresponding number. So x is 4, so I'm going to plug that in. 2 times 4 minus n. N is 10, so I'm going to go minus 10. And then with this, I want to use PEMDAS. It's a big important part with this learning target. We need to do the order of operations, which is parentheses, exponents, multiplication and division. They go together, so whatever comes first from left to right, and addition and subtraction, whatever comes first from left to right. So using order of operations, we can multiply first. We get 2 times 4 is 8. 8 minus 10, we end up getting a negative 2 as my answer. All right, moving on. Number 2, same type of problem. Let's substitute in wherever we see a letter. Let's substitute in the corresponding number. So it's going to be negative 2 times negative 5 on top in the numerator. And the denominator will be 2 times m, which is a negative 5, and then plus 3. So with order of operations, let's do the multiplication parts first. So I'm going to go negative 2 times negative 5 is a positive 10 over 2 times negative 5 is a negative 10, and then plus 3. Now let's do this division problem. 10 divided by negative 10 will be a negative 1 plus 3. Any number divided by itself is 1. And then since we have a positive and a negative, we get a negative 1. Negative 1 plus 3 is a positive 2. We are going to skip number 3 and move right ahead on to number 4 below. We have our values again. So we can substitute it in. It will be negative 5 to the third power minus, we have a hard bracket here, negative 3 times the square root of 121, and then hard bracket. With this one, I would focus on the parentheses first. So we want to start with parentheses. With this larger bracket, think of that like a double parenthesis, and we're just going to work inside it to out. So I'm going to start with that square root of 121. I'm going to rewrite my original stuff here just to make sure that I don't forget about it. We have negative 3 times now square root of 121 is 11. And then we're still going to be working within the parentheses. So now I have my larger parenthesis. It's going to be negative 5 to the third minus a negative 33 with multiplication. Be careful here whenever we are subtracting a negative, you can change that to be a plus sign. So we're going to have negative 5 to the third power plus 33. Well, negative 5 to the third power, that's going to end up being a negative 125 plus 33, which will equal a negative 92 as your answer. So be careful with like the parentheses, and then you go exponents. Just order of operations is really important with that one. I'm going to actually skip number 5 because it's very similar to the first one, but I do want to go over number 6. So I'm going to scroll up so I can see my letters. Number 6, we have to plug in our values. So 10 plus 8 divided by, we have a negative y. Well, y is a negative 2, so I'm going to have a negative 2 minus 3 there for my problem. Now this one's kind of tricky, just be careful. Whenever you have two negatives, that's going to end up being a positive. So then let's rewrite our problem. We have 10 plus 8 divided by, here's a set of parentheses, 2 minus 3, and then we have our bracket. So like before, I'm going to work inside out. I'm going to work with my first set of parentheses and then work my way out. So it's going to be 10 plus 8 divided by a negative 1. 8 divided by negative 1 is going to be a negative 8. So it will be 10 plus negative 8. Well, then we can add straight across. We get a positive 2 as our answer. All right, so I went through that really quickly, but that describes Learning Target 1.1 from the review. If you need more help, stop in and visit.